Hello and welcome to Reginald ESQ. I'm Underhook and this is my review of the Tier 6 Russian heavy tank, the KV-1S. This is a very good tank. It's an iconic tank. It's a lot of people take on the Russian heavy line just to get this tank. The tank has 810 hit points, weighs from 44 to 48 tons, has 600 horsepower, a speed limit of 43, so it's quite zippy for a heavy tank. It is very mobile. A traverse speed of 30, which is also quite good for a heavy tank. So it's really, with the armor it has and the speed it has, it's almost like a medium tank, the way it moves around and the way you have to use the armor. The hull armor is 75 at the front, 60 on the side, 60 on the rear, and the turret is 100 on the front, 90 on the side and 90 in the rear, and I'll come back a little bit more and talk about the armor. The turret traverse is 28, which is quite good on this tank. The view range is 330 meters, which is fairly poor for a tier 6 heavy, and the signal range is 440 meters, which is also fairly poor for a tier 6 heavy. Now let us have a look at what everyone wants to know about this tank, and that's the gun, but I might actually have a look at it in the research tree. Alright, when you get this tank, you start off with a gun that's not really adequate, and you have to work hard to get to this gun here, the 122mm D25T. It's a fair bit of work. You've got to we don't have to upgrade, you don't have to get that gun, although it's a derp gun. But you do have to, like, that's, 4,300 is not too much for that, then 5,000 for that. Yeah, there's a fair bit of work, 17,000 research to get the good gun. Once you've got that gun though, the tank comes alive. Now this gun, let's talk a bit about it. It's a 122mm gun. It has a rate of fire of 3.75 rounds per minute, which is terrible. So it takes a long time to reload this gun. Has a penetration of 175, which is probably the best penetration for tier 6 heavy, so it's very, very good. With premium ammo you get 217 penetration, which is outstanding. It is 390 alpha damage, which is the highest amount of damage of any tier 6 heavy tank, and that's why everybody wants to play this tank. The accuracy is 0.46, which is terrible, and the aiming time is 3.4, which is very bad. So this tank is best played up close. With this accuracy, you will not be sniping at anyone because you will miss. This 122mm gun is famous for missing and can be extremely frustrating at times when you fire 4 or 5 shots in a row and they all miss. Fully aimed shots and they all miss. So don't try and muck around being a sniper with this tank. You've got to get in close where aiming is not so important. But even in close, make sure that your tank is completely stationary and has stopped sort of wobbling around once you've stopped. If you fire while your tank is still wobbling around, there's a good chance you will miss. I have had my gun butted up against the front of another tank and fired and missed with this gun. The only possible explanation is that the shell came out at right angles. So you have to be completely stationary when you fire this gun if you want to hit. But the alpha damage is sensational. I'll get back so we can see the tank again. There's the gun there. It's a great looking gun. The thing about this tank is it's very intimidating to other players. When you hit somebody with this tank, the amount of damage you do, it's like they come launching out at you all full of bravado. You go bang, and then they go their squeaky wheels as they try and retreat back behind a rock or something because they're going, holy crap, what was that? So it does have a lot of presence and it does inspire a lot of fear, unless they're a very good player, but it inspires fear in most players that nobody wants to really get hit by one of these. You will blow up just about any tier 4 tank you hit. You'll be a one-shot kill. Tier 5 tanks, you wreck them. And even tier 6 tanks, you start doing a lot of damage. Tier 7 tanks are still afraid of you. It's only really at tier 8 where people start to say, I'm not too afraid of a KV-1S. That said, don't get caught out in the open in front of something like a Churchill, because their rate of fire will and their high penetration will smash you. This is a peekaboo tank. It's not a stay out in the open tank. You want to be behind cover, pull out from behind cover, bang, put your shot in, pull back behind cover and wait for your reload, because your reload is very slow. And that's why even a Matilda, a tier 4 Matilda, can wreck you if you're out in the open, because the rate of fire, they just keep going bang, 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 yeah, like one shot every 3 seconds, and you're taking like 13 seconds to load. And if you then miss the Matilda, you're in big trouble. So yeah, but if you stay close range fighting, it's a very good tank. Now, the chassis or the hull is basically the same hull as on the KV-1, which you would have been driving a KV-1 before you got this tank. So if you look at the hull there, and then we look at this one, it's the same hull. There's the KV-1, there's the KV-1S. So the only thing is, the armor is not as good. So on the KV-1, we have a hull armor of 75 on the front, 75 on the side, 70 on the rear. KV-1S, 75 on the front, which is the same, but it drops to 60 on the back and 60 on the rear. So we're losing 10 mils on the side and rear. And the turret is 100 on the front, 90 on the side, 90 on the rear. The KV-1S was 110 front, side and rear. Has a very good turret, the KV-1, sorry. So KV-1S sacrifices armor, but it gains speed by sacrificing that weight. Now, so it has the same weak points at the front, the port here and the driver's viewport there, machine gun port, driver's viewport. And the hull is easier to penetrate from the side. We still have this very strong strip as we had in the KV-1, so don't hit that. But if you hit anywhere here, the armor is less than the KV-1, it's now 90, and tanks will penetrate you fairly easily there. And also the side of the turret here is quite flat and is easily penetrated on the side. You also have this quite big cupola, which is a weak spot from the front. Now, the front of the turret, even though it's less armor than the KV-1, is actually probably stronger than the KV-1 due to the curving and sloping on the front. It's actually not bad. They can hit you right there, they'll get through, but the mantlet or here is a fair bit harder. But the cupola is definitely a weak point, and you can pierce there. On the rear, yes, this is weak, but the whole rear of the tank is pretty much not too hard to penetrate. But you know, you really don't. If you get stuck out in the open in this tank, you're in trouble. You really want to be peekabooing, peek out, have a shot, peek back at close range. Now, the view range and signal range are very short, so you rely on either scouts, or if you're playing this tank right, you are close range anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, if you're at long range, that's another thing about this tank. You know, if you think, oh, I'm just going to snipe, people will see you and you won't even know they're there, and they'll start pounding you and you won't know where it's coming from. So you really need to be close up, rush up, but hopefully, like in a city, fantastic. Pop around the corner, go bang and pop back. That said though, you don't want to get tracked. So a good idea is to have a repair kit always with you, so you can get your tracks repaired and pop back again. You don't get stuck out in the open. On my tank, I have a gun rammer to speed up the loading, a gun laying drive to speed up the aiming time, and I use vents to also help with aiming time and loading time. You really just want to do everything you can. This tank is the gun, so you want to do everything you can to improve the performance of the gun. That's my opinion anyway. Now, camouflage wise, it has great camouflage for a heavy tank. The only heavy tank in tier 6 that has better camouflage is the Churchill 7. That said, you know, heavy tanks don't have good camouflage, but this one's pretty good. The tank, as I said, is mobile, and this tank is the first and last of this series that has good gun depression. It has -8 degrees and fantastic elevation of 25 degrees. So the gun is quite versatile. After this, the IS series drops away and their gun depression is pretty poor. But this one does have pretty good gun depression. So you can pop over a hill, take a shot. At Himmeldorf, you can come up the hill and take shots. The only thing you have to be, careful of is that your cupola will get pinged. So if you are hanging around trying to do, you know, just popping over a hill, keep your turret moving from side to side, like rocket back and forth, to try and move your tank as well back and forth to try and make this hard to hit. If you keep doing that, then you'll bounce a few shots and you can use your gun depression to good effect. The other thing to mention about this tank is the ammunition is incredibly expensive. Let me show you what I mean. Your normal standard shell is 1,025 credits per shot. So you won't be using, like you've seen me in other games when I have fast firing tanks, I blow away cover and stuff like that. You won't be blowing away cover in this tank because you'll go broke. And also it takes so long to reload, you don't want to be doing that anyway. Premium shots, I carried 3, $4,800 credits per shot. Very expensive. But because the loading time is so slow, you'll find you don't actually fire that many shots per game anyway. So you'll also find, or I found, I don't actually get a lot of kills in this tank because of the slow loading time. But your job, I believe, is not to be killing tanks with this tank anyway. Your job is to go up, find a full health tank that is causing trouble for your team and smash it. And then let the other tanks on your team finish it off. The ones that do, 200 or 150 damage like your Churchills, let them finish it off. You're there to smash their health right down so the other tanks or your light tanks can just go in and ping them and eliminate them. You don't want to be doing a 50 damage on a tank to exterminate it, because that's not going to be your maximum value, in my opinion. Because your reload time is so long, the time you get to shoot another tank, you don't want to be pinging little tanks. You want to be going, okay, here's their big tough tank, whammo, cop that, let the little guys now run in, because when they see a tank on low health, they'll run in to finish it off. But they're too scared to rush up to a tough tank with full health because they're going to get blown away before they can do it. But if you do that, you smash their big tanks, your little tanks, medium tanks, will be able to rush forward and finish them off. I've got a few good games for you. I did get quite a few top guns in this tank. I used to play it a lot. I don't play it that much anymore, but they're old replays. So the replays I have for you now are kind of average games, but they still give you a good insight, I believe, in how to play the tank.
Let's go.
Alright, in the KV-1S, it's a tier 6 game, so we're top of the tree. There's only, about 5 or 6 tier 6s and the rest of tier 5s, a couple of tier 4s. As you can see, the tank is quite mobile. We're doing 48 down this hill. Something else I thought I might mention, I didn't mention in the earlier part of the review. With this tank, if you're fighting in a city, say, like in a town, and unfortunately having the actual town fighting for you, but in these clips, but if you're fighting in a town and say you're popping around a corner, taking a shot, popping back, if you're on your own, it's quite dangerous because of your long reload time. So if you pop out, take a shot, the enemy then knows, say they're in a tiger, they know they can now pop out, take a shot at you, reload, take another shot at you, and then pop back around, because I know how long it takes you. It takes a long time for you to reload. So you either need another tank there in support. So if you're driving a Tiger or even a Matilda or something like that that has a fairly rapid firing gun, and you see a KV-1S on its own fighting on a corner, just go and back it up. So that prevents anybody from just popping around and taking shots at the KV-1S. Because the thing is, the KV-1S can even pop around and miss, and then either get tracked or even when it just pops back, the other tanks will follow it around. So if you are fighting a KV-1S, by all means, try and trick them into firing at you. So sort of like just try and pop your nose out, pop back, pop out, pop back, just to try and get them to fire and miss. And then you can just slowly waltz around the corner, shoot, reload, shoot. Now I'm going for this AMX. That was a bit of luck on my side there. I took my time aiming that, but you can easily miss those sort of shots in this tank. Sometimes they just miss. But as you can see, the power of the gun, 400 hit points, bang, he's one shot dead. Hellcat, ouch. Was that 426 damage? He'll be saying, ow. And you can see the gun depression's not too bad. I can't quite get my shot there. I could almost get a shot there on this T-28. We would kill this T-28 if we hit him. And we miss. We've been hit by that KV. He's using HE ammo. Not that effective against this armor. He'd be better off without the HE gun. The Hellcats come back to have a shot at us. And we finish him off. He did do good damage to us, so 299 is a good roll for him. There's the T-28. Blissfully unaware of our presence. Take our time. Fully aim the shot. Reloading.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
So that's 262 damage and he's finished off. As you can see, I'm not doing any long range shooting. Not trying to snipe anyone. It's just sort of average range. Not close range, just because of the map won't let me do close range, but pretty, you know, close to medium range. When I first got this tank, I was so used to driving Churchills that I was trying to snipe everyone in it, and I had a terrible win rate. 81. Ouch, 380. And I had a really bad win rate, and it was only when I realised just to forget about sniping or shooting at long range and just get close as soon as possible, then my win rate started to come back up. It took me a long time to get it back up to 50%. This is what I mean about tanks just trying to escape. Once they've been hit by you, they just want to escape. That's all they want to do. Unfortunately, the enemy is capping, and I haven't really got time to get back. I'm just hoping somebody else will take care of the cap. I see this ELC here has just eliminated one of our tanks, or he's been spotting for them. So I have a crack at him. And 375 points of his health just got wiped out. And it looks like we're in trouble. They've got 95% of the cap, so I'm just going to try and have a shot at this KV-2. Be a miracle if I hit from this range, 412 meters, yeah. And they've captured base, unfortunately. So unfortunately, we were defeated. I don't think it's any fault of ours. We had a really good game. I had 5 kills there. I'm sure if that game had gone on longer, we would have got a top gun there for sure. Yeah, so great game. And as you can see, we topped the experience for our team. In fact, way above everyone else. And even we got 3rd highest experience out of anyone in the game. Considering we lost, that's pretty damn good. And look at the other tanks on the other team. Both the 2 top tanks on their sides were KV-1S. One did 2.5 damage, the other one did 890. He had 5 kills as well. He had 2. I had 5 kills and 2 I had 7. So it shows you it's a pretty powerful tank, and that's why a lot of people want to drive this tank. Yeah. We fired 9 shots. 7 of those shots hit and 7 of them penetrated, doing 2,087 damage. Excuse me. We received 3 hits, 2 of them penetrated, so we bounced 1 shot. Enemy spotted 1, damaged 5, destroyed 5, and we did a little bit of assistance. And we received 34,000 credits, which is pretty good. As you can see, the ammunition is pretty expensive. Yeah, that's I can't quite read that, but it's over 9,000, and we only fired 9 shots. So yeah, experience 525, and then yeah, a bit more. The game was a bit too short for us to rack up a lot of damage, but it was still a good game.
Let's go.
Alright, a tier 7 game. The enemy has a Black Prince, T-29, a Tiger and a Panther as their tier 7s. They also have a couple of KV-1S. And we have a lot of IS, a couple of T-29s, a Panther also. So good game to show you how it works against tier 7s. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. The Panther player on our side is a very good player, or he plays a very good game anyway. He's not a highly rated player, but he plays well in this match. And he and I do some good teamwork. I was really rapt about the teamwork in this game. It worked really well. I'll just slow it down again now because we're getting close to where you start to meet the enemy on this map. So he won't be very happy about that hit. So you basically see I hit the tank like that, and then I pretty much ignore it. I'm not even going to try and get another shot on that tank. That's something the Panther can finish off. He's quick, he's got rapid fire. I just move now to a safe position so I can take on the other tough guys. The BDR shouldn't have pulled out there. Bad move on his part. So as you can see, 435 just completely rocked him. And then it's just a matter of a couple of shots to finish him off by the other guys. And that's, like I said, that's the job of this tank. So I'll try a little bit of peekaboo tactics here. The KV-1 looks like he wants to get in on the act and do a bit of peekaboo as well. He's got slightly better armor than me anyway, so I don't mind. But really, he should let me smack him, and then he can finish him off. Now that Tiger unfortunately just tracked it there, but I was aiming for the lower glacis because that is a weak spot on those Tigers. KV-1's getting hit there a little bit. So this time I take my time and get the shot in. He gets a shot in me too. It's just unfortunate that you really have to take your time and aim. You just can't afford to miss. You really have to sit out there and let it aim. Waiting to reload and then come back. So the thing is, by peekabooing like this, so long as you don't get tracked, you don't have to worry. Like a Tiger has a far better rate of fire than a KV-1S, but he can't utilize his rate of fire because I'm just peekabooing. Now I come back, so really his rate of fire is the same as mine because he only gets to shoot every time I pop out, and I'm doing twice the damage he does, so he can't win. That's because I've got another tank, that KV-1, helping me. I've also got the Panther on my right. You can't see him, but he's playing a fantastic game on the right. And we're doing really effective teamwork here. I know where he is, and I'm using him to great effect here. But yeah, that's the thing, you know. Oof, we finished him off there with a bit of a lucky shot. We didn't fully aim it, but we managed to hit him anyway. Now watch what our T-29 driver does to the enemy T-29. He just decides to charge on in, and look what he does. This is pretty funny. Just pushes him into the hole. And I don't know if you've ever been in there, but it's really hard to get out of there. Once you're in there, you're pretty much stuck there for half the game trying to get out. So, and he just uses his gun depression to finish him off, I think. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Sorry, I lost my train of thought, whatever I was talking about before. But yeah, sorry, you can nullify an enemy's rate of fire by just peekabooing. And so long as you have someone with you, like I had the Panther and the KV-1 covering my ass so they couldn't pop around. But if I was there by myself, trying to do the whole lot by myself, and I didn't have any help, that Tiger would just, okay, take a shot or let me fire, then he would just come around the corner, sit there and pump a couple of shots into me, and then move back, and I would have a lot of trouble beating him. But when you've got some teammates helping you, the KV-1S becomes a devastating tank. Now Cromwell pumped a shot into me, Panther pumped a shot into me, that's not good. I'm on pretty low health now, 170, I have to be a little bit more careful. So the armor's not great on this tank. Like I say, it's worse than the KV-1. But, you know, you get mobility for that. I eat a shot there, but it was worth it to get 423 on the Panther. He's nearly dead now. So what I mean is someone will now have the confidence just to pop around and have a shot. Because I know if the shot hits, he can't get a shot back at him. And that's your job. Is just to... See that T-29, he wouldn't care. What's the Panther going to do to him? Get one shot in? So, yeah. That's the job of this tank, is to rip their health down. So I'm just sitting here now because I'm thinking, okay, we're going to cap. And people might come rushing around this corner here to try and save the cap, and I'll just blast them if they do. So I figure I'll just sit here. T1's going in as well. And now I'm thinking, nobody seems to be coming, so maybe we better move up and see if we can find them. They've got a Black Prince and a Hummel, so I haven't got much left anyway. Don't know where their artillery is, but I thought he would be around, not far away actually. He might have followed the assault up on the other side. Now we don't have very good view range. Looks like our IS up there has been hit by 146. So that'll be the Black Prince, because only that tank does stuff all damage with its hits. It's been spotted, but not by us. Luckily our radio range is probably just long enough to get the signal, because our radio range is pretty crap as well. Let's see if we can have a long range shot. How far away is it? 513 metres. We take a shot. I don't know if it hit or not, but we'll see in the after game stats. The game's over. Okay, well, a great game. As you can see, we did actually hit that Black Prince. We did 2 critical damages to it, but I don't know what it was. It wouldn't have been tracks, because if it was tracks, we would have got some damage, spotting damage, or damage assistance. But we did hit it from 500 and something metres, so that's pretty freaky for a KV-1S. Yeah, but we did pretty well there. I think we played a good game. Had great help, a couple of good players in our team there. So as you can see here, we came second on experience. The Panther actually came first with 4 kills and what did he do? 2,500 damage. We did 2,100 damage, and that T29 did just over 2,000 as well. So we had the 3 of us were doing pretty well. The T29 came into the scene later. It was really that Panther. He was working great. And that KV-1 that was with us, he didn't play that well, but he kept me safe. And he was in tier 5 anyway, so a bit tough for him against the tier 7s. The Black Prince on the other team did actually quite well, which is surprising, because I don't rate the Black Prince very highly at all. Now let's have a looky. We fired 9 shots, had 8 direct hits, which is sensational on the KV-1S. 8 penetrations, damage 2,136. We received 5 hits, and all 5 of those hits penetrated. The armor's not great on the KV-1S. Enemy spotted 1, damaged 6, and destroyed 2, which is quite good. Did a bit of spotting damage too, 590. 43,000 is a really good earner, and we would have ended up with about 30,000 on a normal game. And experience was great, 1,021 without premium, and with premium 1,531, which is a great result.
Time to roll out.
Alright, the map is Prokhorovka. I'm in the KV-1S. It's a tier 7 game. The enemy has 4 tier 7s. AMX, an IS, a Panther, and a Emil. Something, I forget what you call it now. I can't read it on the screen very well. I'm getting too old, my eyes aren't that good anymore. And there's also tier 6s, tier 5s. I'll just speed this up a little bit, this first part. I think I play a pretty good tactical game here, so yeah, it's a good game for that point of view. Now you can see a VK up there. He got there bloody fast, so I take aim at him. He sees me aiming and backs off. Now I've recently updated my commander with 6th sense. You saw my 6th sense went off. I have found that with 6th sense in this tank, you'll be much more successful, because the armor's not great on this tank, and because you're kind of using peekaboo tactics, knowing that you've been spotted is a big advantage. Now I've got him there now. He's spotted me now. I take a shot. He also takes a shot, but he bounces, and I didn't. I did 374 damage. He was firing premium ammo at me as well. We were lucky to get that bounce, and he sat there for a while, and somebody else hit him as well. So we might have got a spot for that. Now I've been shot in the back for 120. Oh, this VK over here has just bounced the shot off me. I don't get a chance to fully aim that shot, and I miss. But it looks like my teammates are hitting him, so that's good. Now I'm trying to move into this little depression and dirt here. My engine's been hit, so I'm going quite slowly. I've just used my repair kit now to fix my engine, because I need my maneuverability to get out of fire. So I'm using this depression here. There's no artillery, so I can safely just sit here in this depression, out of cover, out of harm's way. I mean, in cover. So now I'm going to just poke the ridge. I have got pretty good gun depression in this tank. Now I've been spotted, so I straight away back away. I'm not sure if I've been spotted for someone on the hill, or whether it's somebody in the town there that spotted me. But I immediately back away, because there's no point in getting hit. And this is where I mean Sixth Sense is so important with this tank. I'm a little bit peeved that I'm the only one here. The hill is so important to take in this game that I thought at least one other tank would be up here helping me. Because I really need another tank so that I can safely take my aiming time, because it takes a long time to aim with this gun. I can safely aim at somebody and know that there's somebody else that they're shooting at as well. And also because this tank has such poor view range, I'd really like another tank here to help to spot for me, so that I don't walk out blind and get shot at. So I'm just moving forward a little bit at a time here to see if my Sixth Sense goes off, to see if I'm being spotted, and that way I'm not exposing, you know, my whole tank and then finding, okay, I took a shot there and as you can see it missed, and I was straight away backing away, because normally when you take a shot, you know, everyone can see you, it alerts your presence to everyone. My Sixth Sense didn't go off, so even though I fired a shot, it didn't get detected. So that's making me think maybe there's no one on the hill, and probably no one else in the town, or they would have spotted me. So I decided to work my way back up again. I'm still being cautious, move forward, stop, move forward, stop, so that hopefully if I am exposed, I'm only just a part of my tank's exposed and I won't get hit. So I get to this bush here, so I'm still in camouflage, haven't been spotted, so I figure I'll move forward to the next bush, and bang, a KV-1S. He's unfortunately seen me as well, and we exchange blows. He's bounced, he's hit my tracks ate it, so I was really lucky there. My tracks are back up, and I figure, well, I can't get away in time. He bounces again off me. I angled my tank really well. He didn't angle at all. He's angling now. But I decided not to back away, because if I backed away, I wouldn't have been able to aim, and I wouldn't have been able to get away in time. So I fire another shot at him. I don't know if I hit him or not. I'm getting hit by a Panther, but I'm not getting penetrated. Fortunately, I'm bouncing the shots. I think he's over the other side of the railway tracks. I've been very lucky. And that other KVS seems to have backed away and he's not firing at me. So now I just get the hell out of there. I figure my camouflage is reset, so I'm just going back to these bushes again to see if I can... I want to get this KV-1S. I want to eliminate him. But for some reason I can't see him now. So I don't know if he's back down the hill, or... It'd be unusual if he managed to get over that hill and then drive back down again in time, because it doesn't back up very fast, this tank. I've now fortunately got a helper. His Panzer IV, so I'm wrapped now to have that helper there. So I just pop up here to see what I can see, and look at this, a Panzer. I fire that without fully aiming, and I'm very lucky that it hits for 400. That Panther driver will be spewing. I think I tracked him as well, but it takes so long to reload, I can't afford to sit there. So that was the Panther that was shooting at me before, no doubt. He's moved into cover there a little bit. I'm just waiting to see if anybody comes over the tracks, or if that Panther backs up again. Now, we're winning quite convincingly now. It's 11-7. They've only got 4 tanks left, although two of their tanks are tier 7s, and they've still got a KV-1S as well, and they've got an M4 Sherman who's on 3 kills, not doing too badly. So I realise now this tank needs help. So I've typed in wait for me, because the Panzer IV is probably not a match for the Panther, whereas I reckon if we attack together we can do some damage. Now someone else has hit the Panther, which is awesome. So I decide if I ram him and shoot him, I can probably finish him. And look at that. I couldn't have finished him with one shot, but the ram did 200 and then the shot did the rest. He had about 500 and something health, and I saw that on the way down and realised if I just shot him it wouldn't be enough, but if I rammed him and then shot him. That said, it wouldn't have been unusual for that shot to have missed, because it wasn't a fully aimed shot. And like I've told you, I've had my gun barrel butted up against tanks, like point blank range. I could see nothing on my view screen except their tank. Blam! And it missed. I've done that plenty of times in a KV-1S, so I was a bit lucky. Okay, we see. I decided to come over. This area is a pretty safe area to come over usually. M4 Sherman. I don't know if he didn't see me, but he should have pulled back. And he's gone. The only thing they've got left now is their AMX, which is a tier 7 tank. Fairly dangerous tank. Now watch this. I can't see anything. But it's on the screen where the tank is, but I can't see it yet. Jackson shooting. IS is shooting. They're shooting it because they can see it. Look where I am. I'm where they are. I still can't see the tank. The view range sucks. Another good game there. Tactically quite good, I think. Once you learn with this tank, it took me a while to learn. I've played over 600 games in this tank, and when I started, I had a terrible win ratio because, like I said, I've been driving Churchills, and I was trying to snipe and do long range shots, and it was very frustrating, missing all the time, and I had a terrible win rate. Went down to about 42% or something. I've gradually brought it back up to 50%, and now I'm doing really well, and I'm sure if I keep playing it, I'm not playing it that much anymore, but if I was playing it a lot, I'd end up sort of 55%, I think, because once you understand, you need to be close and you need to peekaboo. Peek out, have a shot, come back at close range. You keep doing that, your win rate will go through the roof with this tank. It's heaps of fun. It's a good fun tank. It is a bit hard. I didn't show you any tier 8 games. It is a bit tougher at tier 8 because you have a little bit of trouble penetrating, at some tier 8 tanks. So to go in, go bang and bounce is a bit tough, but it still holds its own, and it still inspires a little bit of fear even at tier 8. So as you can see with this screen, yeah, we did okay. Now if we look at this screen, the T25AT had a great game. He did 2,500 damage and 1,100 raw experience. That's pretty damn good. But we had a good game, 2,177 and 1,077 experience as well, which is a very good result. On the enemy team, the AMX, he was the last tank on their side. He had a pretty good game, but the rest of his team didn't have a very good game. His tier 7s didn't do great, so that didn't help. We also had a KV-1S here on our team. He did over 1,000 damage. So, you know, it's a brutal tank. KV-1S, very good tank. Let's have a look at the next screen. We had shots fired, 9, 7 direct hits, and 6 of those penetrated. We did 2,177 damage. We received 10 hits, 8 penetrated. So once again, we're seeing a trend here. The armor doesn't bounce a lot of shots. Although we were lucky. I think we did absorb a few shots on our tracks, which we were pretty lucky. Non-penetration 2. So potential damage 1,700. Yep. Enemies damaged. Enemies spotted 2, damaged 4, destroyed 2. Did fairly good assistance damage there too, with 829. 47,000 credits, good. So it's a pretty good earner, this tank. It's only the ammunition, expense of the ammunition, that hurts you. And if you use premium ammo, oh boy, $4,800 a shot, credits a shot, boy. Yeah, you use 2 shots and there's $9,000 gone. So you got to be careful. I hardly ever use premium on this tank. So we made 35,000 credits profit, which is very good. And the raw experience with premium came to 1,600. That's awesome. There was a promotion going which gave me another 16, doubled it, and then we got a ×3, so it ended up being basically ×4. So that was nice. Thank you for watching my review of the KV-1S. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. It really helps me out a lot. And if you wish to see more of these videos, please subscribe to Reginald ESQ and you'll be notified when I do another review. Thank you and have fun.